The late American writer Ned Vizzini said in his novel entitled "It's Kind of a Funny Story," "I didn't want to wake up. I was having a much better time asleep, and that's really sad. It's like a reverse nightmare. Like when you wake up from a nightmare, you're so relieved. I woke up into a nightmare." This quote from the book really sums up our lives since the COVID-19 pandemic started. I'm sure that most of us see this time as a nightmare. Our daily lives were affected. Our careers and works, our relationships, our education. I know that most of the students in this online learning are having a tough time. Some will not mind at all, but most are suffering and are really finding it hard to keep going. I can agree with no hesitation because this distance learning is really taking a toll on my health, on my mental health. I expected to graduate, walk on stage as I received my diploma, but sadly, that didn't happen. After a few months of staying at home doing nothing, we were suddenly freshman students. I am suddenly a nursing student. But even if most of the freshmen got one step closer to their dreams, I got one step away from mine. At first, I thought it was going to be easy. Even if nursing is not the course that I wanted to study, I still told myself that I can do it. Online classes will be hard, but I can stay at home all day and I will have less social interaction. I can work while I am most comfortable, but that was only a foolish expectation, for me at least. During the first week of classes after the 1 month suspension, the schoolwork just came all at once. I thought that I could do it, but during that first week I almost gave up. I almost lost the little hope that I am holding into. That is why I can say that this COVID-19 pandemic really has an effect on our mental health. First, it affected our social interaction, which is very important for us as human beings. And it is possible that we'll experience anxiety and stress that may result to something worse like depression and may push some to end their nightmares by taking their lives away. The lack of social interaction can have a big impact on our mental health. We treat our school as a place where we can make friends and where we can create countless memories as we study. Because of the ongoing pandemic, we can only stay at the comfort of our homes. We can have more time with our families, yes, but we will lack the connection to our professors and classmates. As a student, it is necessary to work with other people and socialize, but doing online classes alone with no one to ask and talk to about the lessons that we can't seem to understand, it becomes very stressful. For some adolescents and young adults, being in front of other people on video can lead to its own anxieties. I'm one of the people who became more anxious during the past year. I'm the kind of person who is uncomfortable around other people. That is why I believe that the online class will be in my favor, but I was wrong. I noticed that I became more anxious of social interaction even if it is only through chats and video calls. My heart beats faster and my hands shake uncontrollably whenever I try to recite, even through chat. How much more if it was on video call or in person? The time I spend at home just worsens my people skills. I cannot even make a proper conversation with my classmates because I feel like what I say will be judged. That is why it is hard to make a connection with them. I know that I am not the only one having a hard time keeping up with their professors and classmates. Some people are not very good with socializing, and because we only met through chats and video calls, it is harder to truly understand them. And also, because of social isolation, the support that we ought to have during hard times at school is not there anymore. We lost the motivation to do our schoolworks and activities. Isn't it nice to work with our friends? I believe that working with other people can increase our productivity. But since we are working alone in our homes, we are procrastinating most of the time. Anxiety and stress too can have further complications to our mental health. It could worsen and turn into depression. Depression is a treatable illness, but if left untreated, it can possibly lead to suicide. A lot of students are against this way of learning, and I know they all have their valid reasons. This just caused more problems to students than when we are having face-to-face classes. One reason that might contribute to a student's stress and depression is in the financial aspect. Let's admit it, online class is expensive. We need to buy mobile data to keep up with the class and submit our works, and not everyone can afford that. Some even don't have the resources like cell phones and laptops, which is necessary for online classes. Because of these factors, many students feel stressed out since they cannot submit their works on time or keep up with their lessons. Many teachers are considerate, but there are still some who don't give considerations to their students. This can heighten a student's emotional distress, which they are already facing, and too much mental and emotional stress can lead to depression or worse, suicide. So as we can see, this pandemic really brought hardship not only to the students but also to the teachers, parents, and other workers who do their best every day to make ends meet. Everyone's mental health is important and needs to be taken care of, just like how we take care of our physical health. As students, COVID-19 really affected our mental health. In this new normal where we should stay at home to avoid getting the virus and possibly spreading it, but social isolation, the lack of motivation, stress, anxiety, and depression that we feel during the quarantine really hinders a lot of us to move forward and do our best. Even so, we can turn this negativity into something uplifting. Yes, it might take some time since we are still in a pandemic, but one day we can look back and all our struggles and hardship we are facing right now can be our motivation and inspiration to achieve our goals and passion. We will wake up and welcome a new day with a smile. You can wake up from the nightmare you have right now and dream a better future for yourself. That's all. Thank you.